Happy Sunday. Hey,
Hey.
everybody. Are you guys ready for tomorrow? I know I'm not. Thank you for joining us here in JT Ladies Lounge. I am Jazz.
And I'm T.
And we are here to talk today about Salvation Sunday, guys. We got some questions. We probably think you may have too. So we just wanted to have a discussion. We were actually thinking about this and mulled over it all week to see how we were gonna, form this show because
Right.
we didn't want to come off as offensive or
Exactly. And that's you right, Jazz. You are 100% right. Because we did debate back and forth, should we make this a topic? And it was
Yeah.
like, why not? Because you know why? This is a discussion that we have.
that we need to have. It's
Yeah, or
important.
no, or a discussion that we have amongst ourselves or
Right.
with other people. So why not talk about it with our audience? And
Why
again,
not discuss it here in the
right,
lounge?
just giving your opinions and thought. It's no right or wrong, it's no judgment. So there you have it. It's Salvation Sunday. What are your thoughts about having a relationship with God? Do you feel that you actually have to be
In the church.
to have a relationship with God? You know, um,
And we all know there are plenty of Bible scriptures. If you do read the Bible, there are plenty of scriptures that say, you need to be in the church, convene in the church. I'm no scholar, I'm no, what is it, the theologian, the guy that studies the Bible. I'm not a preacher or any of those things, but I know it always talks about, being in the church and how big the church is to worshiping God and the body of the church, the churches of the body, all that good stuff. So I know a lot of people feel like church is a must. Every Sunday morning and evening service, Wednesday classes, all those other things to keep your connection with God. But is that really necessary? What happens to those people who can't make it to every Sunday service or every time the church door is open? Does that mean does that mean there's a disconnect in their connection? Does that mean that they don't have a connection? Are they, going to be condemned to hell because they can't make it every Sunday? So just let us know what you think and how you feel. And what do you feel about your connection with God? Do you feel it's necessary to be in a church? I know they say where's one or two, praising His name, that is the church. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have church and it doesn't have to be in a building. It doesn't have to be with, a whole bunch of people. So we have a couple comments here. Thank you all for tuning in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
This is going to be a great topic tonight because, I'm just curious as to what, people feel. Thank you, B, for tuning in. You are the man. Stephanie, thank you so much. Hey, honey. Hey, Javi. Thanks for tuning in. Stephanie said, I don't like organized religion, but I love God.
Yes.
I completely agree. She said, my connection with God is through my direct line to Him through prayer. Yep. You got to keep Him on the main line.
That's true. And talking about Him.
Yeah.
And talking about Him and spreading the word. Javi said it's changing more and more. People are walking away from church. Yeah, and that's just me from listening to news or hearing people talk. I have heard that. But I would definitely say my opinion again is not passing judgment on people that feel that you must go to church. I don't believe you have to. And I would say that because I'm a person that doesn't go to church. It's not that I can't go to church. It's not that I have a problem with go to church, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely can say my belief and my connection and my relationship with God is just as strong. But you have somebody that may not feel that it is. I have a support system whose belief in God is strong, my family, you know what I'm saying? So
it's a lot of
you
people
gotta
too.
you know what I'm saying? I have that. I always had a strong connection with God, but of course, as I gotten older and different things happened in my life, definitely has gotten stronger. You know what I'm saying? And I know as I move on in life and in different steps in my life, it's gonna get even stronger. You know what I'm saying? But I feel that I always had a connection, and even growing up, even growing up, church was never mandatory in my home. It wasn't. I am Catholic. That's another thing, and I don't practice Catholic. You know what I'm saying? I was baptized, went to Catholic high school, Catholic grammar school, but my religion would be Catholic because that's what I was baptized as. Only time we went to church was every first Friday. We had the priest. We did communion. My grandmother, she did make us go to church on Easter. But other than that, even once leaving my grandmother's house, and my mother, when she got baptized, it was never forced. You know what I'm saying? So even as I got older to want to go to church on my own, I just never did. But I definitely will say that connection with God has always been there.
Yeah. And I feel like, okay, so I go to church. I'm not there every time the door is open. I'm not there at every wake and beck and moment. But to me, I feel like, church is, for me, is kind of like school. You know what I'm saying? You go, you get the knowledge, you apply it, use what you can, and what you don't know, seek further knowledge of.
Right.
And if, and that's the other thing too. It's so many different church homes and it's so many different churches and religions. You know what I'm saying? You have to just figure out what's comfortable for you. And
Right.
I do internet. I go, I watch TD Jakes and Sarah Jakes and all that
right.
all day at work. You know what I'm saying? But I also know that every now and then I feel like it's something that's missing or something that I need to be fed down on the inside that I can only get when I'm in a church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But just because I'm not there every Sunday
Right.
doesn't mean I feel like my connection is any weaker with my God, because I spend a lot of time with him and I talk to him on a daily basis. And I meditate a lot. I do,
Right.
spiritual meditation, and I feel it's mindfulness. I'm not trying to get empty. I'm trying to get full of the word. I need to be clear about what my next steps are. So I don't think me not attending church every Sunday doesn't mean my connection with God is any less.
Right.
We have a couple of comments. I see Rich said, when you have a car, you keep up on the maintenance, gas, tune up, car wash, oil change, tire rotations. When you're saved, you know your body is your temple, and believers come together and strengthen and encourage each other in building stronger faith. I agree. But do you feel that's the only way it can be done is if it's in a church? Do you feel, how do you feel about that? Does it have to be done in a church? Stephanie said, too many churches has gotten into preaching prosperity ministry, and that's not my thing. That is true.
Right.
She said, church has become a business. Oh boy, here we go with the emojis. Hey Jamila, thanks for watching. She said, church has become a business instead of feeding souls. Absolutely right. How'd you make that happen?
I don't know. I was working on mine.
Oh. Okay, yeah. So you're absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. A lot of the things I hear now are, less about God and more about filling your pockets and how you can contribute to the congregation so they can get the Learjets. So
and
I agree with that.
and that's, again, it's just your opinion, because you have churches where, and again, I don't have to go to church to hear this stuff, because I know people who are in the church on a daily basis, where they're doing more sinning than the people who don't go to church.
Absolutely.
And that's for me hearing that on talking to people. But let me share with you guys that I just put in the link for you guys to call in. Please give it a try, because this is our first time trying it. Why is that like that? That would make it. You made it bigger. Make it smaller. That was our first time. Take away the comments. That was our first time trying this, so we would like for you to call in just to make sure that everything is fine, just to let you guys get a feel of how this call-in works. So if you would like to call in, I just put the link in, so give us a call. Your comments will be live.
Yes.
And you can conversate with us versus just texting, in your comments.
Yep.
So Javi said, that's right, you can connect with God as long as you have a prayer life. Yes. Rich said, not really in a church, like you said, when 2 or 3 come together in Jesus' name. I have a church at home and anywhere souls need to hear the word of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I completely
Yes.
agree.
Yeah, that is definitely correct. What a
I
cool
just
and
think
green.
that I just think that we should focus on more about being good people. You know what I'm saying? Focus on his word, focus on the point of what church and what it's supposed to be versus what it is now, because a lot of times we get the message confused. We get it all very misconstrued. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And a lot of people, like Stephanie said, you missed the point of it all because it's so much about prosperity, what
Mm-hmm.
you can get versus what you can give or how you can help.
Mm-hmm. Right. So give us some more comments. What are your how? Well, we do have a few people, as Stephanie said exactly, Jazz. For you who are commenting and who are viewing, for those of you who don't attend church on a
Mm-hmm.
regular basis or just don't attend church, and it can be for personal reasons or it can be, you feel that you have a strong enough connection.
Yeah, or you feel like you
What are
don't need
ways
to.
that you
Yeah,
found how to connect with God without going to church?
right. That's good.
What are ways that you connected?
I need to do it. I know.
What are ways
I'm trying. I'm
that
doing
you
a lot.
connected with God that you can let us know your ways of how you have done that? And we have Faraji that said relationship with God
Hey, Faraji.
over religious practices.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Have your own practice. That's what it is. You can have your own practice because if you think about it, it's still a practice to me. Like you are doing your own practice with God, your own way of having your relationship. You know what I'm saying? You're just not doing it with probably how society feel it should be done. You know what I'm saying? Maybe your practice with God can be every morning, getting on your knees and praying. Do I personally get on my knees and pray? No. Some people to this day still do because as kids, what we were taught, you sit on the edge, you get down on the edge of bed, the edge of the bed, and
Mm-hmm.
fold your hands, you put your head down. Again, that is fine. Some people do that.
Right.
I lay in bed and covers on me and you can be praying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you have your own way of practicing. That's your practice.
Be like, God, do you really want me to get up right now? It's real early.
So whatever way your praying is. Like I said, I was raised Catholic. I remember
Yeah.
we used to pray with the rosemary beads. You know what I'm saying? And as I gotten older to be able to do it on my own, not because it was forced through my family, but it was more practiced in school. Because again, I went to a Catholic grammar school and high school, so we
Mm-hmm.
had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We had to have communion. If you went to a Catholic school, these were things that you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
So and like I said, as I gotten older, it was just like I shied away from the religion of Catholic. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It was just, it's still to me the same belief with God. It's just that particular religion that I was like, it was too
Strict.
yeah, too strict. And I know my lifestyle was not following the Catholic religion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I mean, and
so it was like I have to find a way to have my own relationship with God that's not followed by
that's not restrictive.
rules, right?
And honestly, if you think about it, half of the people that are practicing whatever religion they're practicing, their lifestyle is not as streamlined as what it should be in order, to be perfect for that religion. So from what I understand, God ain't looking for perfection. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's cool that you realize that, like, yeah, this is my religion, but I'm a little not really into all that stuff. So,
Right.
let me see what I can do to maintain my own relationship with God. Because a lot of people, that just steers them away, period. Like, I mean, everything that's going on in church, like Stephanie said, steers them away from church. I mean, even with, Catholic, with everything that's going on with the priests nowadays, it's got people feeling some type of way, which I can only, understand. But it doesn't mean you should steer away from God, but maybe you should just focus more on your relationship with your God versus the one that's being pressed upon you.
Right.
Yep. So Faraji said walking, laying down, sitting, etc. Absolutely. Wherever you can, wherever the
Right.
time.
Let me tell y'all, I'm sitting right here now. Sometimes we having these shows and I'll be praying as I'm talking. So no, I'm serious. I'm
Me
serious.
too.
You know what I'm saying? So like you said, Faraji, wherever you can get in that, get it. Get it.
Yeah.
Stephanie said, I have connected with God through my prayer life and forgiving and loving folk the way my Heavenly Father loves me. Yes, yes, yes. I don't like when pastors say everyone that feed, please stand. Let me tell you what, you can give 10% of your time and resources to help those less fortunate and still be in His will. And that is true. As long as you are following, you know what I'm saying, God's way.
It is not always monetary.
And again, like I said, if you do go to church faithfully every Sunday, or when you want to get the word in and go to church, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't. My thing is, don't because I don't go to church, don't tell me I don't have the same connection as someone. I mean, that's just me. That would be something that I know I would argue with. Certain things I just be like, you know what? That's how you feel. That's how I feel. But don't tell me that, because personally, I will go head to head with you and let you know.
Running you over.
You know? Because let me tell you, I know my relationship with God is beyond. Because, man, I tell you.
Sounds like a testimony in a shout right
No,
here.
it is. It really is. And like I said, just having my family and, your friends that's, in the same circle.
Yeah.
And have the same strong beliefs. And even as you meet people along the way, your journey, if someone, has that belief too, because you can have them conversations with you. They understand, you know what I'm saying? They're not judging you because you don't go to church. I know I talk about God a lot. But on Sunday mornings, I'm either at work, I'm either home, I'm either working out. But, that don't make me less of a child of God.
Let's call him and see what he thinks about that.
Well, I'm just y'all calling? If y'all want,
yes, give us a call.
Give us
try
a call.
Calling in.
Call in. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you for commenting and sharing.
But before you do that, before you call in, give us a quick second. We need to cut to break real quick. It'll be very, very fast. We will be right back, but make sure you join us, and we definitely want to keep this conversation going. So we will be back in a couple seconds, all right? Mm-hmm. I had to unmute the mics. Thank you guys for joining us again here in JT Ladies Lounge. I am Jazz and this is T, and we are talking Salvation Sunday.
Yes.
What do you feel about your connection with God and attending church? How closely is that linked, or is it linked at all? We have some good comments. Thank you all for tuning in and participating. This has been absolutely amazing conversation. We already shared our opinions, and a couple of you all, again, thank you for tuning in.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody else has anything they want to share, or any opinions they have about how closely church and your connection with God is
Yes.
tied together, we would love to hear it. Rich said, oftentimes people take religion, God spiritually beliefs out of context.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks to us all in the heart, and most grieve his Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. He speaks to us all in our individual ways that we can understand, I feel, because I feel sometimes God sends me messages that are only clear and direct to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you may see the same thing I see, but I see it completely different, because maybe it's something that I've spoken with him about.
Right.
Or maybe it's a desire of my heart that I've not yet said.
Mm-hmm.
And, he put it before me and was like, see, all you had to do was ask me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or something he took away from me that I didn't know needed to be removed.
Right.
Until he removed it. And I'm like, well, now I see the bigger picture. But, it just depends on your connection and what you're looking for in your relationship with God as well.
Right. Right.
Hi, Primo. Thank you for joining us. Stephanie said, exactly, T. God has no respect for persons, meaning he loves me as just as much as he loves you. You're absolutely right. It's all about action. It's all about what you putting out here in the universe. And that's, and everybody, I don't know, it's crazy because you have so many names for your God. You know what I'm saying? You call him whatever you want to call him.
Yes.
The whole key to it is what you putting in this universe, and what are you doing to exalt his name? What are you doing to place his name where it deserves to be?
Mm-hmm.
Give him his glory. What are you doing out here in the universe?
Because it is definitely a higher power out there. It definitely. I mean, for me, I don't believe just in coincidence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
It just happened. No. Again, this is my thoughts. Or, you was just happen to be in the right place at the right time.
Yep.
No. It's like I said, down to the littlest thing, where I be thinking that, oh my goodness, like something's gonna happen. Like, to me, if I do something that I know wasn't right, I'm immediately thinking, Tamara, something's gonna happen. Where you are gonna be able to say, this is why that happened, because I did something wrong.
Yeah.
Or something out of content that wasn't,
that I shouldn't have done.
Right, that wasn't God's way. And I'm saying down to even to the littlest thing, to where, let's just say you in the grocery store, right? And you get rung up and you get your change back. And you notice that the cashier gave you an extra $1. But you're like, it's okay. But then when I walk out that store, I'm like, oh my goodness, that extra $1 that I ain't tell her she gave me, watch something happen.
Watch,
now.
I'm about to lose $5.
Yeah, right. Watch, exactly. Watch something gonna happen where now I gotta pay $500 unexpectedly because I didn't want to tell the cashier that she gave me an extra $1. Like, that's how my mind be. I'm telling you. I'm serious. My mind is always thinking, and I guess, I don't know, it's because I've been so blessed. I don't want to take that, take advantage of that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
blessing.
saying?
Seriously.
Yeah, I don't want to never ever take advantage of that. So of course I'm not, perfect. You know what I'm saying? So it's still one of those, if I do something that I know that, I will be, looked at, oh, you just did a sin, you just did something wrong. I'm like, oh my goodness, God is he is gonna punish me. And you know what, T? All you gotta do is accept it. Just take it, because you already know the reason why it came back on you. I'm serious.
I mean, it makes sense. Right? It really, really do. Um, Jeff, he said there are people going to church regularly that are going to bust hell wide open
Right.
because they go for the wrong reasons. You're absolutely right. And it's
Mm-hmm.
crazy because when you said the wrong reasons, for some reason, I automatically thought of dating.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people say, if you're single and that's where you trying to date,
Mm-hmm.
you find them in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh my God.
Right.
And I've literally had a man sit behind me the whole service and he passed me a note. And I thought maybe he was trying to ask me for a pen or tell me I dropped something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not that note.
Wow.
It was not that note. And I looked at it and I kind of thought it was a joke. I was like, God, you playing? I'm trying to focus, listen to the word. But he was so serious. So after church, I'm walking out. Now, mind you, me, I never looked back. So I didn't even know who it was. I just kind of crumbled it up and was like, chuckling in my head, like, you are funny. But that man was serious.
Right.
Girl, he followed me to my car. And I was like, God, here you go again.
Right.
Like, please do not test me on a
But
Sunday.
look, let me tell y'all, now that you said that, let me tell y'all this story that happened
God, that
to
was
me,
so
right?
funny.
I'm going to make it real quick because it's not long. Now, this was a couple of years, some years ago. This is when I was single, right? So we were 14 or something like that. Let me tell y'all, I met this guy, right? And we exchanged numbers. So we talking, having conversations, on the phone and stuff like that. And he telling me what he do. And all like, when you first meet somebody, you having conversation on the phone. So he says to me, after a couple of days, or maybe, about a couple of days after talking to him, he says to me, I need to tell you something, right? Now, as we talking, I remember him being at work and I was in the house getting ready to go hang out with somebody. I'm going to tell y'all the reason why this is crazy. I was getting ready to head out. So he was like, I got to talk to you about something. Can I meet you real quick? And I'm like, well, I'm getting ready. Like, can you tell me what you got to tell me now? He was like, no, I need to tell you face to face. I'm like, but I'm getting ready. He was like, no, this is important because this will determine whether or not if we will continue on continue on talking. So I'm like, okay, I'm about to leave my house. I'm heading up to Fridays already. Strike one. That was a lie. Because I wasn't heading up to Fridays, right? But I'm like, okay, he don't need to know where I'm going. So I said, I'm heading up to Fridays to meet some friends. Strike one, already lied. So he was like, okay, I'm about to leave work or I could take a lunch break, whatever the case may be. So we met in the parking lot out here in Waldorf by the Ross and the Babies R Us and all that stuff. People that know the area, y'all know where that. So I pull up, he pull up, get out the car, say, hey, nice to see you, da-da-da. So he says to me, I needed to have this talk with you face to face because in a matter of a couple of days that we've been talking, I see that this can go further. Da, 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 da. Y'all know how that goes.
Dang.
So he says, I'm looking at him like, what in the world do he like? I'm kind of nervous now because I'm like, what is it that he needs to tell me that you really have to meet me face to face?
He was a woman.
No. You know the story. He tells me he's a pastor. Now, the way I'm reacting now is calm because, again, like I said, it's years later. But when he told me he was a pastor, immediately I said, oh, hell no. I said, oh, hell no. No, 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 right? So let me tell y'all, again, it's nothing wrong with pastors at all, but I just knew at that where I was at in my life, especially being single from getting out of a relationship, I just knew right then and there that was not going to be the relationship for me. And already, as soon as he said that to me, y'all, that's why I said strike one. I already lied and said that I was going to Fridays, but I was actually going to meet somebody else. But I'm like, so again, like I said, that wasn't the time in my life for me to even be trying to dip and dab, with no pastor. And I know I'm living a life like I'm going to do me. I'm free and single.
Devil and dabbling.
So let me tell y'all, once he said that, I'm looking at him like, now I really got to go. Let me tell y'all, when I tell this story, especially when this happened, when I got in that car and I speed out of that parking lot on two wheels, y'all, Lord, please forgive me. I'm telling you, you seen Smoke. Y'all know how in the cartoons, when they get in the car and they speed, that is how I literally left out of that parking lot. Again, it was not having no fear of God. It wasn't having no fear of, talking, to a pastor, like just hi, how you doing, and having conversation.
It just changed the dynamic.
Right. But to be trying to build a relationship, I was not about to be no pastor's wife, no pastor's girlfriend, or whatever the case may be.
You could have been wearing the big hat.
So listen, that I'm telling you, that's a story I will never.
Oh my
ever,
God,
ever
y'all, this was the funniest story I ever heard in my life.
Because I'm like, oh my goodness. But then I also had people say to me, well, maybe you needed that to calm you down where I was at that point in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I was single, wilding, doing my thing. But I'm like, nah. I'm not about to. Yeah, I'm not about to use this man to try to make me, change my life because he's a pastor. It was something I needed to do on my own. So with that being said, I never spoke to him again after that.
Dang. So you didn't even speak to the man no more? You are cold-blooded.
No. I was like, I'm really about to be punished. Because God, Jesus, he would have been like, Tamara, are you serious?
No, I just sent you an angel, and here you
go. Right.
Oh, now that's funny. I ain't even get to that stage. I ain't even look back. So, okay, so listen, we probably should have read this in the beginning, but for everybody that's just tuning in, we're talking about Salvation Sunday, and the definition of salvation, as according to the dictionary, is the act of saving someone from sin or evil, the state of being saved from sin or evil, or something that saves someone or something from danger or a difficult situation. In Christianity, union or friendship with God and deliverance from the original sin and damnation. Jesus promised salvation to his followers. Salvation, being saved among Christians. Salvation is freedom from the effects of the fall of man. This freedom comes through faith in Jesus, who is called in the New Testament the author of eternal salvation unto all that obey him. What it means to be a Christian, what it say on the paper. Okay, so don't judge us. What it means to be a Christian, the word Christian is given to early followers of Jesus, and the name has stuck to this day. Being a Christian is not about keeping rules and regulations, performing rituals, or even going to church. It's about friendship, a friendship with Jesus Christ.
And that's exactly what.
Now, how come this meaning ain't posted? How come all the Christians don't know this?
And this is exactly what we are talking about. Listen, you can, whatever you want to call yourself, you are a child of God. If you believe in God, because we have people out there who don't, again, not passing judgment, that is your belief. But at the end of the day, if you are a believer of God, you are a Christian, you are a child of God, no matter what, you have a relationship with him. And for people who don't, get one. Because I'm telling you, get one.
And a lot of people, don't get caught up on the titles, y'all, because you know what? I was so busy trying to figure out between Baptist and Pentecostal and all that, and it just became really, really frustrating. And I just decided that I just go where my heart leads me. You know what I'm saying? And as long as they talking something that I can, relate to, something that sounds right and resonates in my spirit, then that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And my relationship with God isn't based on a title. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I know is I'm a sinner who's probably going to sin again. You know what I'm saying? So I need forgiveness as well as I need to be forgiven. So that's what it is. That's what the main thing is for me. Just put out what you want back. And it may not come from the person that you think it should, but you will get it back.
Right.
That's how that goes.
Yeah.
Yes, Javi, the big hats. Tamara ruined our big hat opportunity. Gosh. Sheesh. All right, y'all. Tamara also found this, and I found it interesting. I kind of giggled when I read it. It says 6 ways to meet God without going to church. Now, I know one way you can meet him, but I ain't really about that life yet. You know what I'm saying?
And this is just on, for people who feel, because some people feel that if I don't go to church, I can't have a connection.
Mm.
Some people really think that either because that's their own thinking. People told them that, you know what I'm saying? Or they want to follow what society's doing, you
And
know
you
what
know,
I'm saying?
society is so harsh.
So it's like you don't have to,
It's
not
very harsh.
discouraging no one from going to church. That's the thing. This show, or what I'm saying, or what Jazz is saying, is not discouraging no one. We're just talking about our beliefs
And if
our
what we
lifestyle.
say discourages you from seeking a better relationship with God, then maybe you need to seek a better relationship with God and get your faith and your muscles a little bit stronger, because we can't die for you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? We can't die for you. We can't stand and go through that whole process for you. So that's something you need to consider. But, thank you guys for joining. Hi, Bug. Hi, Miss Denise Thomas. Thank you for joining us. This is 6 ways to meet God without going to church. And I'm sure we all know one of them. And I'm not trying to go to the deluxe apartment in the sky right now.
Mhm.
So the first one is savor your surroundings. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and lost wonder in the vastness of the universe? Have you ever lost your breath as you gaze at the beauty of the setting sun? Have you ever dived deep into a blue sea, only to be met by the most dazzling array of colors as fish of every shape and size? So it's just saying, inhale your surroundings. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes surroundings aren't that beautiful. But when you get that chance, and when you can see it in your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Meditate, take a time to just breathe, take it in.
Yep, they got all kinds of meditation apps. Meditation
Whatever,
apps.
like, if you gotta just take time, like look up in the sky. If you want to look the universe, the stars, the moon,
The
the
shape of the
planets,
clouds.
like whatever your time and your way of, again, like Faraji and a few other people say, your connection with God. If it's looking at the stars and you like the universe and the flowers and whatever, just have that connection, because it's deep.
It really is, and the more you do it, the more you appreciate the natural beauty that's in front of you.
Right.
Because we all know that's changing moment by moment. Number 2 is meet through the music. It says, I had messed up. I had let everyone down. I was sitting in my bedroom while all of a sudden the word of Richard Marx's song, Waiting for You, gently came through the radio.
And that's another
That
thing,
is
because that's
so
what I
real.
say. Want to meet with God? Turn on your radio, open your mind to the voice of God speaking to you loud and clear. And again, sometimes that don't even always have to be gospel music.
I was just thinking the same thing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It don't even have to be always gospel music. Nowadays, even a couple of years ago, when they started changing gospel music, making it to like hip hop or R&B, and the people that were doing that were getting judged because they was like, "This is not gospel music. This is not." And they was they was trying to find a way to incorporate gospel music to more of the younger crowd or the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, here it is. You could dance and not dance or bop your head off of a gospel song.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're wrong because you bopping your head to a gospel song? But it's, you know what I'm saying, that's got an R&B or a hip hop beat.
Yeah, the beat will caught your ears, but the words is what's gonna resonate.
You know what I'm saying? So it don't always have to be through gospel. But if you do gospel, that's fine, because I've known people that say, I don't listen to nothing but gospel.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that is fine. But if your connection or listening through music is your way with reaching with God, praying, whatever music that transpires in your head and say, this is a connection with God, let it be.
Absolutely. And the third one is receive the gift of giving. If you really want to meet God, give. Give time.
Mm-hmm.
Give money. Give food. Give clothes. Give.
Mm-hmm.
You were blessed others. So, number 4 is through all that you have. You are healthy. You have family, friends, and loved ones around you. You are living under a roof. You are able to enjoy eating the most beautiful food, despite the fact that you can be fixated on all that you haven't got. So that means you can have everything in the world and still be focused on what you don't have.
Mm-hmm.
You are blessed by God because you have everything that you will ever need. All you got to do is focus and stop thinking about what you don't have and think about what you do have.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe in focusing on what you do have, you'll be able to find the strength to get what you feel you don't have if you need it. That's deep. I'm feeling real deep right now. Okay. Be open to oneness. Be inspired by the fact that you are insignificant on the planet Earth, both here and now, and in comparison to millions of people who have existed throughout generations. And yet, you are so special, so important, so unique. You are a child of God.
Yeah.
You are. And it says, in the unending questions, it's a whole bunch of those.
Mm-hmm.
Those can drive you crazy. It says, when I ended the unending questions, I ceased trying to understand God with my mind, and in doing so, I met him in my heart. I started to live my life by faith, by intuition, by loving and giving. And in this way, God truly revealed himself to me. So stop trying to figure stuff out that ain't meant for you to figure out.
Mm-hmm. Just let it go.
Let go and let God.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
but that's one thing, and I'm gonna say this because we're about to close. We got about another 5 more minutes. And that's what the Woman to Woman book is about. And I'm saying this like for real. It's about living your life, mentally, physically, spiritually. You know what I'm saying? However, your way of living that way. It don't say nothing about, you got to go to church. It's just having that connection.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's having that belief.
Yeah.
Having that everything's gonna be okay. Because sometimes things happen and we be like,
woe is me.
Yeah, this and this and that. You know what I'm saying? And I know I have. I know I have. And I don't want to say if it's the question if it's a God, but just of a why is this happening? I had to stop doing that, asking why is this happening? You know what I'm saying? Because I knew it was happening for a reason.
And I think mine was more or less, now why is it happening, but when is it over?
Right.
Oh my God, is this over yet?
Right.
And it's like the more I ask, the more I kind of find myself a little deeper in it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, so it's just sometimes we have to stop trying to rationalize and stop looking to ourselves for our own understanding. You know what I'm saying? And connect on a deeper level by doing some of the things that we mentioned in the 6 steps prior, connecting with earth and nature, giving your time, giving your energy, just doing something that serves a greater purpose than yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you all for tuning in with your comments and like, comment, and share. This is a good topic.
It is.
Don't never be ashamed of your beliefs, whatever it is. And don't never be ashamed of talking about God or thinking that somebody's gonna judge you because you.
So what? They're judging you anyway.
That you want to praise him.
Yeah. And also, y'all, please keep the conversation going. We don't have to stop here. Keep the conversation going. Even if you want to dig a little bit deeper, if you want to be a guest on the show, there's always room for you to do that as well. You have our email address. It's to2withjazandT@yahoo.com.
Yes.
You have all our social media connects. Make sure you pick up your copy of Woman to Woman. We will post. You can get that digital too. In case you didn't know, you can get that digital too, and that's exclusive on Jetsons Radio. We will post a link for that. Also, we will also post a link for you to buy your hard copy if you want a hard copy. So make sure you do that as well. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No. What's this? September 9th? No. Just stay tuned, and we will be back Wednesday. We have some events coming up. Well, one event that's coming up October 27th. I see you probably been seeing that being shared on our pages. Pain to Purpose. That is going to be an amazing event.
We look forward to doing that.
October 27th. So that's our next upcoming event. And also we are behind the scenes trying to get prepared for a book signing event as well. Not going to give too much information, but that will be coming soon too.
Yes.
So that's
Stay
about
tuned.
it.
Yep. Okay, guys, we will see you Wednesday. Bye.